So here we are, standing next to my fat bike. It is a 2012 Necromancer put out by Surly, sold by QVP Bikes. It's one of the better builds I have ever seen. Now, it doesn't mean it's the best, because clearly there is better technologies out there. Specifically in the rear rim department. If you look way down there, see if I can get in the picture, you'll notice that is a standard rear hub made for any old special, nothing fancy mountain bike. So what they did is they just kicked the rear triangle over so that the brake would line up and that it would hold on to that axle. And you'll notice that in order to do that, they had to offset the lacing on the rim. Not the greatest thing ever done. It does create some interesting design options, and choices that they made were probably not the best. But it works pretty well. Eventually, hope to do away with this whole system. It's kind of outdated now. We have hubs that will go all the way across, and you can lace the entire rim, which makes it much stronger. But let's get to the nitty-gritty. What I've done is I've put this new tire on here. Very aggressive tread. Very reasonable too. These are actually like 35 bucks on Amazon right now. Now they are steel beads, which means they are kind of a pain to get on and off the rim. But if you don't mind that, that's fine. It also means that it is not foldable. So if you're looking at using something like this as touring, your spare tire, it's probably not going to work out so well. But really, really super aggressive. And it actually changes the dynamic of the ride. A lot of you guys might have the Endomorphs on the rear of your bikes. Pretty good tire. I started with that one. But I really just ate it up really fast. It was done and over with probably 6 months after owning the bike. Good tire though. Rolled real easy. Now up here in the front, I do plan on changing this one the same as in the back. This is the standard Surly that came with it. Larry, obviously the 3.8. Once again, pretty good tire. The biggest difference between stock and this upgrade here is that massive tread pattern. Now there are some other ones out there like the Nate and a few other of the Surly ones that are pretty intense. The downside is that obviously there is more rolling resistance, so it takes more to get the bike going. Now this one here, here it is. Looking for the markings on the bike, or on the wheel rather. It's a V-rubber. You guys can see that right there. And this is specifically a Devastator, 8 as in the number 8. Pretty solid. And as you can see, I'm still rolling with the rolling Darrells. Pretty standard actually. But the biggest thing is obviously the tire, and I've actually changed out to a different crank system. As you can see, it's a race face bottom bracket, crank set, top ring. Went to just a single so that we can avoid some of the clearance issues. Pretty styling. I'll do a full review later on. But that being said, the reason I bring up the clearance issue is whenever I got this, I wasn't too sure if this here, this massive tire, is going to fit and not rub up against that chain, which is really critical on a fat bike. Now if you look right here, I don't know if I can get it really good into the frame here, but it is really, really close. But it rolls fine, and that's the lowest that derailleur is going to go. It's actually probably one of the better fits I've seen. You'll notice it goes back here, and pretty much, once again, stock back there. All stock. But the chain line here, that cable out of the way, that chain ring there, which is the 36, and it is on the basic ride. is a really, really good one. It's super light, super well built. As you can tell down here, like I said, I'm going to do more videos on this, do a little bit better review. But some special stuff going on here. I'll explain all that later. But I'm really enjoying it. Mainly back to this tire here. So far, this Massive Tread has been pretty phenomenal. It grips everything. It's pretty insane. And here's the actual brand and name, if you can see that. And like I said, really great deal right now. Totally pick up some of these. I'll put a link down into the description on where I got them and how much and all that jazz. So for right now, I haven't been able to play with them too much. You know, just got them, as you can tell, into the mud a little bit. And they don't sling mud too bad. This has actually been pretty windy, or pretty rainy. And there's just a little bit of kick up back there. As you can tell, a little bit of kick right there on the crank. Now, that being said, you know, haven't been full-blown rain or deep mud yet. I'll probably give you further reviews about that. But right now, solid. And it is pumped up pretty hard too. Like, it is probably maximum pressure right now. And handles it real well. I'll have this down on the beach soon and see how it handles that. And but in the meantime, I'm really digging it. And it is a digging tire. It is massive knobs. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. I was going to do a review on that crank, but I think it'll hold off. So, well, thanks for much tuning in. This is my first video, so I hope these will get better. I am using my cell phone, which is terrible, but we will get a better camera and make this all pretty. So, this is Fat Bike Fanatic signing off. Bye now.